Mad. I'ma feed 5-4 fun, money making animal. Don't put me in.
You got me going in circles. Round and round and round. You got me going in circles. What? Stop playing with me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ask Mad Show. I am Mad, your Duke of Tribal Kingdom, international man of leisure, the Caesar of the universal players, your secret agent man giving you the game on all things. And I just want to start the show out, and I really don't even really do this ever, but I want to start the show out with some acknowledgments if I can, you dig? And very, very specific for today, yeah. And I want to acknowledge my baby first, you know what I'm saying? Always taking care of me and shit like that, you know. I had biscuits today. Yeah, I had bacon and egg biscuit sandwiches, man. Man, look out. And everything was made from scratch. It wasn't no Pillsbury or whatever brand y'all out there using. It wasn't the Muffin Man. You did what I'm saying? You know it's what I'm talking about. The one who live on Drury Lane. Anyway, I want to acknowledge my homeboy, Nick Jess. We're going to acknowledge the homie, Nick Jess. You did what I'm saying? Nick shared a picture of him with the Tribal Kingdom crossbody you did. You know what I'm talking about? Well, if you got blick in there or you got you know what I'm saying? You got a whole bunch of loot on you. I don't know what he had in there. It might have been some mushrooms or something he found on the ground. Nick liked to find things in public and bring them home. You dig what I'm saying? Not even like for art purposes. He just thought it was cool. Like Nick could have a whole railroad crossing sign in his crib. You'll be like, what you got there for? I don't know, dude. I thought it was cool. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Nick for rocking the Tribal Kingdom joint today. You dig? And yeah, that's all acknowledgments for today, man. You dig what I'm saying? I was on some business, you know what I'm saying, all day today. Really all this week. You know, the week just started. But you dig what I'm saying as far as last week go, yes, because the show will be current. I've been on the hustle, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm focused, man. We trying to stay focused. We trying to stay deep in our hustle. You know what I mean? We got to focus on what's really important. You dig? And that's making sure you and your family is well taken care of, because you're not going to be able to help everybody in theirs. And like low-key, that's what bring me to what I'm talking about in the show today, right? The tragic death of the young brother Nolan Wells is, first of all, very unfortunate. You dig what I'm saying? Hope for justice for him and his family, swift justice, that is. But what it is it's a cautionary tale for young black teens who have close relationships with their white peers. Now, notice I said teens because I don't think this is specific to the boys. I think the girls should be aware too, although for the girls it's very different. And that's another thing too. This mainly happens to young boys in this, you know, type of way. It very rarely happens to the young sisters, although it may happen to sisters who are adults more so than teenagers, because as teenagers and whatnot, the sisters primarily be with each other. And if you do have some of them who are, you know, have a white friend or whatever, the white girl is the one that's, you know what I'm saying, coming over to their group. Like, not saying that you don't have white boys who come up to the brothers, but it's very, that relationship kind of mainly goes one direction. And it's the same for the white girls. White girls are, you know, more so attracted to black culture, in my opinion, or black people in that way. And, you know, black young brothers are more favored in white culture in another way. You dig what I'm saying? And it's really a cautionary tale, because you may think that these are extraordinary circumstances, but these are very common circumstances from what I've been seeing on the internet. From what I've been seeing online, man, everybody showing videos, pictures of theyself, or like I even saw some TikToks, I guess, where some grown folks was holding up their camera and showing young black kids in the boats with them and they white families as if they flexing on them or something like that. So I'm saying this is a cautionary tale because apparently it's very common. It's happening right now as we speak. And you should pay attention to this because while it's not a daily occurrence, you know what I'm saying, it is a common theme that this sort of thing seems to keep happening no matter where you point to. They want to point at just Mississippi, but let's be real, this ain't a Mississippi thing. You know what I'm saying? I saw some people like, man, y'all need to move out of Mississippi and this, that, and the other. Now, I never even been to Mississippi, but all of my family from both sides of my family is from Mississippi. And if you know anything about Mississippi and the people of Mississippi, it's a reason why a lot of things happen in Mississippi. It's the spirit down there. And I know because the spirit travels wherever the people go. So by extension, Chicago, you dig what I'm saying? I might have been born in Mississippi. Had my grandparents on both sides, ironically, leave the South and come north. Ironically speaking, my two parents, my four grandparents, it's kind of crazy, but just getting back to the point, you dig? It's a cautionary tale for you young people to remember that no matter how much fun it is for you to intermingle, you can't forget where you are at all times. You know what I'm saying? And you must remember that being a threat is your safety. One of the safest things you can do for yourself, young brother, is make sure that they know that you pose a threat. See, a lot of times, you brothers, y'all will be on some very passive type time where you don't want to seem threatening at all. You think somehow that makes you desirable or that makes you more valuable or that makes them accept you more. Oh, they're more accepting of me because, you know, I'm low-key a hoe. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, what the band? No. You basically mocking yourself. You mocking yourself to basically tell them whenever they feel like getting down on you, they can. And low-key don't think they won't. And it probably ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, they could just be having a bad day. Like, you don't really, like, when you hear about these cases, you don't really be hearing about the brother did something very egregious, right? Like, he was offensive in such a way that this person just snapped at the brother and he got what was coming to him because he was picking. No, it's like they having a bad day about something whole different. And next thing you know, you bleeding upside your head. You be, oh, damn, oh, shit. It's over with. They getting down on you. Now, the rest of them might not jump in, but they sure ain't did nothing to stop it. They be looking like, and y'all know what that's like. Y'all do the same thing when people around y'all getting jumped on. Like, I ain't finna say everybody like that, but it is a lot of cowardly people. We not finna act like cowardice ain't common. It ain't cracking. And so what I'm saying is you need to pose a threat. If you're going to be in them type of territories, think about any species who just so happen to cross another dangerous species. We're human beings. And don't think that every human ain't dangerous. Every single human is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Don't put a certain cloth on people based on what they look like or whatever your perceptions of them are, and you severely underestimate them to the point where now you up out of here because you took it for granted and you didn't take the threat seriously. So what I would suggest is that you be on the offensive. You pose the threat. And it's a lot of different ways to do it. You pick which one that work best for you. But what I'm saying is don't just be candy. Don't be sweet around people. And, you know, Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. talks about this. He describes it as the 3 T's. I'm going to describe to you the 3 tiers a little bit later. But Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. talks about the 3 T's, and he says that these are the 3 levels to interactions or relationships, associations between blacks and whites. The first is tacky. He said it gets no better than tacky. He said that's the best you could hope for is a tacky relationship or association. And that's really when people talking about, hey, did you watch the Bears last night, man? Oh, did you watch oh, they got a good picture. You know what I'm saying? Talking about something that's very simple and plain, has no real consequence to anybody, very surface, and it always pertains to the things that are stereotypically of interest to you. Mainly sports. That's the first thing. Like if you tell them you don't watch sports, they all messed up. They don't know where to go now. And you can be lying to them. You can forget, not even forget. You can purposely tell them one day that you do and you don't. And they gonna make sure that now from that point on, that's what y'all talk about. So you better remember if you don't listen or watch sports, because that's the first thing they go to if they want to have some sort of relationship with you or talk to you, at least in the tacky form. You dig what I'm saying? He says that the second level is trashy. When you try to improve on the tackiness, it becomes trashy. That's when they start telling you black jokes and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Or being vulgar and derogatory. That's a trashy association or a trashy conversation or way of communicating with somebody. And the third and final level, he said, is terroristic. Now, they trying to get you fired on the job. You dig what I'm saying? Or trying to put more work on you than they do everybody else. You dig what I'm saying? Or just try to get you in jail on some Karen type of time. Or get the police to come man down. You know what I'm saying? Terroristic. But it gets no better than tacky. And out of all three, I'm sure you would agree that tacky is the best one you can hope for. It's very rare, and I mean extremely rare, that it could be anything other than those three. But that's what Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. Searched. That is his theory. You dig what I'm saying? I can see the value in it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I have to recognize that there are people, and these are anomalies. Again, you shouldn't look at an anomaly as if it is the standard. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. So instead of, talking about just what happened, I really want to dive into how all of this stuff goes, because if you're not a threat and you're being passive, that will be your demise. And this hits home for me personally because I'm a black man here in America, and I have white friends and associates. I went to a majority white high school with sprinkles of black people and Hispanics, and might have had a few Asians or Arab students, you know what I mean? Like literally 2 or something like that. But the politics of these kinds of places are well established before you get there. And you will be wise to learn them before you in a position you don't want to be in. Now, I said that Dr. Fuller has the 3 T's. I have 3 tiers. You dig what I'm saying? And the levels to these relationships, these 3 tiers, there's 3 levels to them. The first is schoolmates, right? The first tier of these politics between blacks and white teens is schoolmates. You just in school together, might got a few classes together, things of that nature. You're not friends really, but you're not enemies either. You know what I mean? You just schoolmates. You know what I'm saying? Somebody you see in school. Again, y'all may have the same class, have the same teacher, whatever. And from time to time, you might make very light conversation. If some come up, they might put you in a group or something like that, and you happy to be in this group or whatever. And that's about as far as it goes. You know what I'm saying? It could be every day. It could be a few times a week. But that's as far as the level of association goes. You know what I'm saying? And the second tier is when you start to socialize outside of school. Now, this includes seeing each other at parties and social gatherings. It can be a positive experience, and you should take note of how frigid this association is compared to the next one. You dig? The frigidity of the socialization outside of school has certain parameters, and they're not easily shifted or adjusted. It's a fixed position, and it's possibly the most fun, you know what I'm saying? Especially when the boys and the girls are intermixed. It could be some of the most entertaining moments. It can be some of the most entertaining moments in your teenage years, but the cap on that is that's almost forbidden. Taboo is like a form of rebellion. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably the most deceptive out of the 3. Even though it's the most fun, it's the most deceptive because you don't know anything more than that about them. You know what I mean? You don't know where they live. You don't know their parents, and they don't know your parents. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just socialize outside of school. You dig? And again, it's mainly like partying and stuff. And when it's, boys and girls intermixed, it can be a lot of fun, but it can be the most manipulative because people will say things and y'all will probably be in situations where y'all looked out for each other. But because there's a cap as to how much y'all know about each other, it doesn't allow for the relationship to, go into those territories. Now, if it does go into those territories, it brings you to the third tier. And that's having a relationship with each other's parents and family members. You know what I'm saying? Not many interracial teenage relationships reach this level, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And it can give the appearance of sincerity and genuine connection. It can be the most dangerous if you're not paying attention to certain things. You know what I'm saying? And the danger often lies in the confusion too, right? Because it'll create a confusion where you may be around people and you don't know how they truly feel, not about you personally, but about the group you belong to. And make no mistake about it, everybody's put into a category, and even within those categories, those are subcategories. And one is, oh, you're one of the good ones. They don't have to necessarily say that to you, but the sentiment is there when it comes to your other people that you either know or they know mutually, and they won't say nothing to them. Now, a lot of times it ain't got to be that serious where everybody just kumbaya. Some people don't mix, but you have to pay attention if you're the only one around. It doesn't have to be a threat because you've already presented yourself as one. But if you are passive and you in this type of situation, you could be in danger and you don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? You could think the relationship between the two groups has the same level of meaningfulness as well, where it might mean more to you than it really mean to them. You dig what I'm saying? And you have to be aware of how much something may affect you based on the fact of the kind of person that you are, where that's not really the same kind of person this is. And that goes across all bounds. That goes across, all races. But it's a little bit more dangerous when you around a whole bunch of people that don't look like you. And that goes for just about every group you might try to find yourself around. I guess the caveat, or probably one of the better things, is that white folks at least speak English. You imagine being around a whole other group of people and they low-key don't like you, but the one person that brought you there, you just better hope that person, vigorously defends you. And that's the other part of it too, is that you can be among these people and have a good time and no harm comes to you. But again, it's the same level of protection. Is it there? Because let's put a white person in a black person's seat, where the white person is around a group of black people. Now, in those situations, you can't confidently or accurately say that there may not be a couple black folk who don't really like white folk or care for white folk. You dig what I'm saying? But the black person that's with you, number one, is going to let you know if anybody's on that type of time. And number two, let you and them know that it ain't going down. And for the most part, black folk will leave you alone because they got their own things that they doing. Ain't nobody really watching you or paying attention to you that much. And they might try to take something out on you that ain't got nothing to do with you. You often might see that, a video where a black person take out someone, but the black person that you with is not finna let them do it. And I'm not saying there's some white folk who won't let other white folk do it. Of course it is. You dig? But again, they are very few and far between. This Nolan Wells situation is exactly what I'm talking about. You have to have discernment, you know what I'm saying? And it has to be some people who are virtuous, you know what I'm saying? And the feelings that y'all have are mutual. And, that's the purpose that it will serve, and, to further the friendship. That's why they are behaving that way. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, they won't care if the friendship come or it go. You just have to be discerning about that. I've had my own personal experiences with these tiers of friendship. I've had, while the person can have positive feelings towards you, they family or the company that they keep may have a different view of you and your people. And I've had my own experiences with this, a couple times. And all three tiers, you dig? And I give a scenario for all three tiers that will fall in line with what I'm talking about. Now, the first story that I'm gonna talk about that falls into tier 1, I went to Streeter High School. When I went to Streeter High School, there's a white boy I went to school with by the name of Cody Smith. I'm sorry, I gotta put your name out there, homie. Now, before I tell this story or say anything about this fella, I just want to let it be known I ain't seen or talked to this fella since I graduated high school. So in no way am I disparaging or besmirching this fella because I don't even know him and I ain't seen him, so I can't speak to nothing that he's a part of, but I can tell my story, you dig? So me and my homeboy, Ryan, now before I say how I go over to this fella's place, Cody Smith somehow, some way, one day was at my house. Cody Smith was brought to my house by another white boy by the name of Trevor Cinnamon. I was cool with him too when we were younger. And like again, these are just classmates. This is nothing like real. This is like, you can't say that's your friend. You dig what I'm saying? That's why you have to be cognizant and not confused as to what these things are. That's why the 3 tiers exist. We was just classmates, but he was brought over by another white boy, Travis Cinnamon, who, by the way, even though I had known him longer than Cody Smith, neither one of them had ever been in my house. And I couldn't tell you exactly what it was that I was like, yeah, come to my house. Come to my house. I think I might have been at the crib chilling or something, and, you know, blood must have hit my phone or something and was like, woo, woo, and I'm like, yeah, come to the crib. So they both come to my house, and we go up to my room. Now, this is a very rare occurrence because nobody ever comes to my room. There's no reason to ever go to my room. But for whatever reason, they came to my room. My mother might have been in the basement doing something. I don't know. But they come to my room, and they got some Coors Light beer with them. I think Coors Light, which one got the train? Keystone? I think it was the one with the train. It might have been... these white boys, they Bush, they drink all these different brands of beer, 99 bottles of beer, I don't know what. And so, blood come in the room, they drinking Coors or the train beer. They drinking the train beer, Joe. And look, right, we just sitting in there out the band, drinking beer, this and that, and they leave, they going about their business. Okay, no problem. Didn't kick it with blood the next day. I'm saying, like, in school, nothing went up, you know what I'm saying? And so this other time, coincidentally, there's people going to his house. He want me to be one of them. I said, okay, you came to my house. This time I'm going with a white boy that I actually kick it with, my homie Ryan. Ryan know him too. So Ryan driving on a rare occasion. Normally I just have my own car, they have their own car, however it go. But on this rare occasion, this evening, I'm in the car with Ryan. Probably because it's in the country and I can't drive out there. I refuse to drive out in the corn. You know what I'm saying? Back roads, this and that. I never learned them roads. Never learned them streets. I was recently just back there and I had to use GPS to drive through there. Now, the town ain't but 10 minutes all around. It'll take you 20 to do it twice. Go figure. And I didn't even know how to get nowhere except the McDonald's and such, because it's all just on this big hill thing. You dig? There's all one street. There's restaurant across the street from each other, Ain't got to go far. Gas stations too. But anyway, I'm in the car with him. We get over to Cody Smith's house, and it's in the country, and it's dark. It ain't nobody there, really. Well, people there, I think abroad, somebody knew was there. Couldn't tell you who that was. His older brother was there, whatever Cody Smith older brother name, we're going to call him Older Brother Smith. Older Brother Smith there, and another white boy who they said his name, so that's how I know his name, Cal Tauti. I don't know this fella. I don't know Older Brother Smith. I don't know Cody Smith. So I can't besmirch them either because I don't know them. But I know I'm in that crib all about 5 minutes. I ain't bullshit. I was in there for about 5 minutes, Joe. We walk in there and everything. I think he even gave me a beer. The whole time he gave me a train beer, Joe. He gave me a train beer. I'm holding the beer. That's how you be at white boy. I'm holding the beer, you did. And before I could before I could even crack that mug, you know, and get that first beer slurp before I get the. He was like, "Hey man, I see a lot of things. I seen commotion. I seen people moving and such, you know. And by the way, they ain't had no lights on really. So this one of them big old country white folk house where the ceiling like this here, not flat or nothing. I ain't talking about apartment. I'm talking about this here, and it's all out of wood in my memory. I remember a lot of wood this here, and it's dark, so it might have been on some lot of windows, cause whatever, they couldn't be dark all the time. You know what I'm saying? They must have had some natural lighting going on, or just for whatever reason, the lights wasn't really on like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I seen some folk moving before I got my slurp, and then I see some mad-faced white boys. Now, you know what mad-faced white boys look like. They got mad faces. They ain't like mugging you. You know what I'm saying? like a nigga mug you, mug you. You just see mad-faced white boys everywhere. They just be mad in the face. You like, damn, what happened? Somebody said something ain't nobody like. You know what I'm saying? I just walked in on something, right? But it wasn't but two of them, so it wasn't that bad. Until Blood come back, Cody Smith come back, say, older brother Smith say, you better get him up out of here. He say, hey man, my brother, Pop's tripping, man. He want me to ask for my bike back. Now you know I would trip. That's how the man come to me. He come to me like, look, man, my older brother tripping, man, but man, forget him, man. Woo out the bed. Who is that? He like, man, it's older brother Smith woo out the bed, but Kyle talk to him. I'm like, who is Kyle talk to? I promise you, I'm like, who the fuck is Kyle talk to? So he like, man, look, they tripping, man, but man, forget them, Joe. I'm like, nah, homie, it's all well. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do y'all. I'm finna slide. You know what I'm saying? He like, nah, man. I'm like, look, homie, I promise to you. We cool, bro. I don't really know him. I'm like, we cool. You know, we classmates. We on tier 1. You can't go wrong at tier 1 now. You want to preserve tier 1, you got to go back to school. What you want to do? Be at school and see mad-faced white boys? Only mad-faced white boys you want to see at school is the teachers or, you know, the principal or somebody. Now, them the mad-faced white boys you got to deal with, and you just move on out the way. You know what I'm talking about? Because you want to, no, what the been? You finna be in school suspension. You finna be out of school suspension. I know. Trust me. I done happen. But dig this here. That's tier 1, and that's how I can go wrong at tier 1. And so, you know what I'm saying? Ryan had to take me back to my car. You dig what I'm saying? Now, Ryan's at tier 3. I'm going to talk about tier 3 in a minute, but Ryan had to take me back to my car. He apologized, and I'm like, nah, it's cool. I mean, you know, you ain't do nothing or whatever, but he went back over there with older brother Smith and I talked to him. And he took me back to my car, Joe, and he went back over there with older brother Smith. And I went and got up with my partner and them, you know what I'm saying? I went and got up with Money Bags and Santana, you know, fuck him. But I went and got up with the homies, you know what I'm saying? And probably in the crib, and the older ones probably got up with Shawshank and Mo, and you know what I'm saying? Just like all the older cats. That's probably exactly what had happened. You did, because you got to have, if you want to be versatile, now I can't help it. People come to me, believe it or not. You can check that with Ripley's, believe it or not. People, they like me, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm glad, because I got game. I'm glad that I know how to, you know what I'm saying, put the lime in the coconut and mix it all, and, you know, 2 pots, both hands, ambidextrous, you know what I'm saying? Because that just means I got more shake and bake than you average, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that was tier 1. That's what I ended up doing. That's what my other homie had ended up doing. Now, tier 2 is another funny story. I got to talk about tier 2, but tier 2 involves some tragedy. Not on my end. Look, ain't nobody do shit to me. You did. Ain't nobody did nothing to me, homie. So check this here. It's another schoolmate white boy. His name's Kyle Kendall. Now, the difference between Cody Smith and Kyle Kendall is Kyle Kendall and me, we much more closely associated at the time. Now, I don't know him today. Again, if I saw these people today, I'd be like, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's up, man? How you doing? Okay, yeah. I'm saying if they saw me, they'll know it's me. They'll know it's me. I told you I was just out there for a funeral. I'm at the gas pump. I'm pumping gas like a motherfucker. I'm at the gas pump. Like I'm trying to see how much money I'm spending and everything. I'm looking around, and from the other side of the pump I hear, well, that's a rare sight. And I'm like, hey, what the hell is that? Did he see a bird or something? I'm like, that was a rare sight. And I'm like, okay, talking to somebody on the other side of the pump with him. Then he said it again. I'm like, man, he talking to me. This man come around the pump. He come around the pump, Joe, and was on some. I promise you, I'm like, man, I'm like, Joe, I never saw this man in my life. But I'm not finna play him to the left, though, because whole time I'm assuming this somebody who probably like my music whole time. So oh, what's up, man? What the bell? You know what I'm saying? He get that, what he say? Man say, it's me, my baby. The man say, it's me, Sir Rock. Oh, damn, I'm sorry. I'm right. Oh, my baby. What's up, man? How you doing? What the bell? Yeah, man, it's a real sight. What the bell? I say, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing a few things with what the bell. He said, okay, well, what the bell? He got in this car. He went back around the pump and got in this car and slid off. You did. I get in the car with my baby brother. I'm like, man, so you got to be cool out here. You know what I'm saying? I stopped preaching to him. But anywho's, back to Kyle Kendall. Kyle Kendall is a little bit more in the classmate, you know what I'm saying? We be out kicking it at parties at the time, you dig what I'm saying? So now we at that second level, socializing in public and whatnot, but I don't know his people them, he don't know my people them. You dig what I'm saying? Type of he was cool. I'm not finna talk, no, again, I'm not disparaging none of these people or besmirching any of these people. It's just like, this is real, this really happened. And I don't really know his people enough. I know he got an older brother. He know I got an older brother. But again, that's like little stuff. You know what I'm saying? You socializing out in public, you going to know little stuff like that. You going to obviously know it. They talking about it like, yeah, remember your dad? Who at the band? I'm damn, who his daddy is. I ain't never seen dude. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell you what dude looked like. Like I got a story to tell when I get to tier 3 about being at the homie wedding. And one of the daddies was like, yeah, I'm woo out the band daddy. I'm all right, bet, stud. Fuck you talking about? But look, right? Kendall having a party. Again, these parties, right? Kendall having a party, right? And my homeboys know about it too. And I'm the type, I always try to bring my homeboys with me everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? Not just for practical reasons, but because they my homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Why would I go somewhere and leave them or tell them they can't go or nothing like that? You feel me? So we all get in my car, you know what I'm saying? For us, it's me, Moneybag, Santana, and Santana older brother. Now, Santana older brother was a quiet cat named Ace. He ain't really talk a lot. He was a slim, tall mob, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't really talk a lot and do a lot. I couldn't tell you how much older he was than us. He might have been like 23, 24 or something. You feel me? We like 16, 17, you feel me? And you dig? Make a long story less long. I'm like, y'all get in the car with me. We gonna go to the party. So we get over there to the party. You know what I'm saying? I'm all throughout the Water Bend. You know, I ain't never been to dude's house, so how I know how to get here? You know what I'm saying? Dude gave me the directions or told me where to pull up at. So I get to the man's house. You feel me? And I'm talking about, again, within about 5 minutes, you see man-face white boys. So look, Joe, I tell you, it always go the same way. Now, we bring our own liquor, you know what I'm saying? We bring our own liquor, you know what I'm saying? We come to the backyard or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's his family and them out there now, you know what I'm saying? It's family and them out there, you feel me? And I see people that I know from school and people that I know from our socialize. So they, hey, what up, what the band? I'm what the band, what up, what the band? Now, my homie, them, they go to school with us, so they know them. They know, everybody know everybody except Santana older brother Ace. Again, he got to be like 23, 24, but he's not a troublemaking fella. And he didn't look like a threat like that. He was skinny Mog. So, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no real type of gangbanging or nothing going on. But again, before I could even get a slurp out of a sip or something, now this time Kendall come. Now Kendall come, he mad. See, Cody Smith wasn't mad because he was coming to me. He wasn't really mad. He was like, man, Pop's tripping again. He over there asking for my bite back. You know I would trip. Like, he ain't really mad like that. But Kendall mad. Kendall like Yosemite Sam mad. Like, mad face white boys. He Darian, who is them dudes? What the band? I'm like, man, you already know these mugs, you know what I'm saying? We be at school together. Like, you know them too, obviously. And that's his brother. He like, yeah, you can stay with them dudes. They gotta go out the band. For real. I'm like, yeah, but that's like, you know them. He like, yeah, but they gotta get up out of here. And then in the background, you see mad-faced white boys. Now, the funny thing when you see mad-faced white boys, where they be at, they be leaning on stuff. But they be leaning on stuff like ain't nobody doing right now, like lawnmowers and shit. Like, you see Miles leaning on lawnmowers, like, damn, what's over there by that lawnmower? And I'm like, all right, it's all good. So I tell the homies, I'm like, hey, y'all, check it out, what the band. Like, we finna slide off what the band. So they get in the car with me. They like, wow, what's up? What happened? I ain't tell them. I wouldn't tell them why. I'm like, nah, just come on. So they get in the car. They like, wow, what's up? What the band? I'm like, yeah, bro. They said y'all gotta slide. You know what I'm saying? But I'm finna leave with y'all. Like, what I look like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, what? I'm like, nah, bro. What would I look like taking y'all somewhere and coming back over here with them? If y'all ain't welcome here, I'm not welcome here. It ain't just that I brought y'all here. No, I ain't never go back over there. You know what I'm saying? Because that told me that if it's a problem, if they here with me, it's a problem if I'm here by myself. Because you can't really articulate to me why they gotta go if you know them and you know me just as well. You don't know that much more about me. You don't know my people them. Just like you don't know they people them. So if you see one of them, you finna tweak out. That's just his one brother. It wasn't like he had 4, 5 cousins. You know what I'm saying? So what if I bring my one brother? You know what I'm saying? Why would I be isolated here? Even if you ain't never showed me nothing but respect. Even if you ain't never showed me no hostility. Again, it ain't got to be about me. Mad-faced white boys. They might be having a bad day. Like, what's every nigga that was lynched and hung from a tree did something wrong, or was it mad-faced white boys and he didn't take heed to the faces of these white boys? And so, Mommy Money Bass, he always like he was like, man, bro, you solid for that. Like, he always bring it up, like, especially back then, he'll be like, bro, you solid for that, bro. I'm like, bro, what you mean? But he'll be like, bro, a lot of moms wouldn't have did that. I'm like, who wouldn't? Like, what? It's like, nah. Now, funny thing about this, right? Santana not my homie like that at all. I don't mess with Blood. I ain't seen Blood about 7, 8, 9 years or something like that there. But Santana caught himself going back over there without me. And boy, did they get him. You got me going in circles. Around and round. That, man, they had that mob going in circles, Jack. Now, we saw Santana about 2 days later because we was looking for him. We're like, what for at? Anybody seen Fo? Ain't nobody seen Fo? Look, we was out there on the main line. Anybody seen Fo? I don't know. I ain't seen Fo. You ain't seen Fo? No, I ain't seen Fo. Ain't nobody seen Fo. So we said we finna go find Fo. We went to Fo house, go to this crib. Fo is in his room with the curtain, just a little peek of sun coming out. I'm talking about the man room ain't never been so. I didn't think that room had the capacity to be that dark. And that day made me realize it ain't but one window in this whole room. That day made me realize it ain't but one window in this whole room, and he had a heavy, thick curtain. He might have had a bear fur curtain made out of bear fur across it, and just a little peek of sun. I'm talking about this, like the sun, like squinting out the window, and we just seen him. He was looking like Martin when he got beat up by Tommy Hearn. He was just sitting in the dark. I was in the dog, lumped up like this. You got me going in circles. They beat the brakes on the They beat the brakes. They beat the dog shit out of him. It ain't funny, but it's funny. Because why did you go over to her? They didn't say you can stay. They said I could stay. And I left. They told me you had to leave. And you went back over there, not that night, but a whole nother night. That was the bad part about tier 2, which is even when you socializing at parties and everything like that, keep it like that, but don't do it where don't do it where it's mad face white boys. Don't do it where it's they family them. Don't do it when it's, they people in them backyard. Better don't go chasing what. Stick to the rivers. You better stick to them other house parties where it's a keg or something, and everybody got a cup with some watery beer in it that's so cold. Man, them cups and cold. Man, my hands should be so cold trying to hold them cups. I'm like, man, I just started bringing a look after that. All that keg. Now, white folk hands don't get cold like our hands. So you can't get down like them. And that brings us to tier 3. Now, what the other 2 tiers didn't have, tier 3 has. Tier 3 has everything that tier 1 has, as far as being schoolmates and enjoying each other in school and whatnot and kicking it. And it also has what tier 2 has as far as socializing outside of school and having a good time and maintaining friendship. And the oddity or the rarity of it can grow into what we call tier 3, where you're around each other's families. And there is a trust, a genuine trust there, a sincerity there. And to bring that up, I got to talk about my homeboy, Ryan. Ryan Mannypenny. Since I said the other 2 white boy names, I got to say his name. Now, this particular night didn't involve me going around his family situation, although I just came from his wedding, talking high school now. This involves him coming to my house. Now, at this particular night, my mother is having people at the crib, you know what I'm saying? I got some of my homeboys there, you know what I'm saying? And everybody kicking in the basement, grown folks. And since me and my partner then was like that, we was down there too. And Ryan was out kicking it with some other white boys. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, Ryan don't mind me telling this story. But he was out kicking it with some other white boys. I won't say their names, but they know who they is. But they was living like that. Like Gates say, hey, I'm really living like that. Yeah, they really living like that. And I wasn't. He knew I wasn't. But he had got high with these white boys. You know what I'm saying? He told me the horrors of it. Oh, it was horrible. The horror. They was doing mushrooms, right? So at one point he tell me one of the white boys is laying on the ground, Joe, and black foam coming out his mouth. And he said, Benny, am I gonna die? So he was in hot water, man. And he came to my house. I didn't even expect him to kick it. I'm kicking it with the homies. You know what I'm saying? He came to my house. Now when he got there, he was sweating like a mob. And so he come down the basement and everything, got him sitting up, got him drinking some water and everything, but he's sweating and he going crazy. And so I'm playing cards. And he leaned over to me, say, hey man, can you take me home? He said, I can't drive. Can you take me home? I said, yeah, I got you. But in order to do that, I need somebody to drive my car back. Now, I don't trust none of these people in here. None of these niggas got licenses or nothing. They and they baby mama in them car with no license. And my homeboy Santana, his license was bad. But I can't have Ryan out here like that. So I say, okay, I'm going to drive your car. Santana, you going to drive my car. And you just follow me real closely. You know what I'm saying? So trays don't bop or whatever. And I got Ryan home, gave him his keys. He went in the house, got in my car. Santana got in the passenger seat. We drove back to the crib. Made sure he got home while he was at my joint. Wasn't no mad face niggas looking at him like, who is this sweaty white boy leaning on everybody? When nobody mad, they was kind of concerned. Like, is he okay? I'm like, nah, he cool. Ryan sitting up there like this. Like, I just watched the Mortal Kombat movie. He was like, finish him. You got me going in circles. Anyway. And he told me something, like when we spoke at school the next day or whatever, because obviously his parents knew. And he said his daddy was like, wow, okay, I had judged him wrong about me. His daddy didn't want him kicking it with me at first. I can only assume why. You know, he wants his son to grow up to be this, that, and the other. No, never mind the white boys just getting him fucked up. But me, it took for that act of sincere, genuine connection, friendship, for me to make sure he got home without no type of pat on the back. Because he didn't tell me. He told his son, and he told me. But those are the 3 tiers. Yeah. And so you should hope for tier 1, because that's probably what most folks is going to be able to get. To get to tier 3, to go through tier 2, that person has to be a very virtuous person, has to have real sincerity, and has to be a real genuine person. Because I just went to his wedding, last year. And it was a wondrous event, you know what I'm saying? I was thoroughly, I was very pleased. Yes. Mm-hmm. Very good. And that's how I was talking to everybody. Yes, very good. Yeah. Nah, I'm bullshit. But I was around his kinfolk, you know what I'm saying? And his bride, I was around her kinfolk and them, and I was in there, mob, you know what I'm saying, doing the boogaloo and dance with some old white lady and everything. And, everybody had a good time, But I was the only one there. Shout out to my homie CJ. But yeah, I was the only one there. And that's just, I'm assuming, because the strength of our relationship, even if he don't kick it with other niggas, he don't have to. He don't have to. He's not obligated to. And similarly, I ain't been around no other white boys like that in that same kind of capacity, because neither am I. That's just what happens in this place we live in called America, And are these relationships the same for white teenagers who come around black people? Short answer is no. Some white teenagers can grow up around black friend groups and they protect it and whatnot, similar to how I did with Ryan. But all black people in this, no. You know what I'm saying? Because I just spoke with the situation with Ryan to this day. So there are no absolutes with this. Everything exists on the spectrum or the 3 tiers that I just described. And are you a special Negro? The answer is no. Neither am I. We're just people. We're just ordinary people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just people, and everybody gonna, experience this life in a way that hopefully we can keep our lives. And, that's why this thing about Nolan Wells hits home with me personally, that I wanted to do this show primarily about it, because I don't think it's just something that happens in the South, man. I was in Illinois, you know what I'm saying? From Chicago, went to a place called Streeter, Illinois, went to high school and like that, graduated, came back to Chicago. And boy, am I thankful for that experience, because everybody didn't get to experience that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, my stepbrother at the time, like, or my sister brother, he would ask me like, man, it was really like this and like that. Like, we always compare it to the movie American Pie. Now, they don't know this because they live like that, but they don't know that that's how we look at them. Like, so it's like that for real? And I was like, yeah, for real. It's just like that, like literally. And he used to be like, wow, man, I want to go. He was like, man, I always wanted to go to that shit when I used to watch it on TV. Now, most niggas from the hood for real can know what I'm saying is true. Like, not to be among them, like, but to just be like, wow. And I'm sure that they feel the same way. They be like, I watched Hardball, man. It makes me think every time I go to the Cubs game with the White Sox and I see a group of black kids, it's the same thing. And I was able to experience all of it. And I got this game I got, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy for it. It's a lot that I can do because of it. But again, I didn't get confused by it. And I know I'm an outlier at a lot of things, man. I'm unique in a lot of ways where it's really just me. And I can accept that, not to try to push it on nobody. Well, you should have, he should have. No, everybody gonna go through how I go through it. Again, unfortunately, this brother lost his life, man. And that's the reason why I want to point these things out so people ain't losing their life over something like this. You don't have to, man. You don't have to. Pay attention to what's going on. Don't think you're a special Negro. You not, man. You're not. And, just because some of them are, protective and genuine like Ryan, and don't think that all of them like that. And they could all be in the same friend group. They know it. They not going to tell you because they don't want to, number one, probably look at it like it's going to make you mad or something like that. Number two, now it's this big old thing that people just rather not live with. We don't know who on that boat had something to do with his death, but all of you's got something to do with not telling them. All of you got something to do with not really telling them for real, man. And it's because you want to be able to still hang with him because he's fun. They want to hang with him too. Whoever did something to him, because I don't know if something happened to him on the boat, off the boat. I don't know how this young brother lost his life, but just because it happened to him, because this is obviously murder. This ain't no accident on drowning. This story don't line up. We finna listen to some video and everything, audio, and see how this went down. But I'm assuming that they all like him. I just gave you these two stories from tier 1 and tier 2. They all like me, but they didn't like my people them. It ain't got nothing to do with them liking you. And it ain't even got to be about you. Them one of them white boys probably had mad faces and was probably having a bad day. Not on the boat with them, but whoever else was on boats, because the white boy said sometimes people come on one boat and leave on another boat. Happens all the time. So there's probably was some people on the boat with them after the fact that didn't even come with him. But the ones that came didn't tell him about the ones that they ended up with. Somewhere he was either ignorant to some facts or he thought he was a special Negro. And no besmirching that brother, no despairing him. It's just that you got to know how this game here go. This here game go, man. And on that note, let's go ahead and check out some of these videos, man. On that note, man. We got a lot of videos, man. So we gotta, first of all, let's listen to this this call. Let's listen to this call.
Nolan Wells investigation, enhanced distress call audio bombshell.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
What did we just hear? What was that? One more time, please.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
Okay, now they have a version of this video where you can hear the background audio. And we're going to listen to the background audio from this sister here who came up with this.
Explain what I did, what you're looking at on the screen, and why I chose to approach this audio the way that I did. As a professional audio engineer with experience in dialogue editing, dialogue cleanup, sound design, and post-production, I decided to work on that C-toe call using traditional audio processing techniques rather than relying on any AI voice separation or AI enhancement. My goal was pretty much to preserve as much of the original recording as possible while making the quieter dialogue and background audio easier to hear. So I basically used techniques such as subtractive EQ, compression, gain adjustments, noise reduction, frequency isolation, and other traditional processing methods. So what I did was I separated Vicky, the sea-tow dispatcher, from Warren and the audio originating from the boat so that I can concentrate more
So
closely
she took off
on
the
what was
audio
happening
dispatch lady,
behind and
and she
around
took off
Warren,
most of what the boy's saying.
pretty much on the boat. And I specifically chose not to rely on AI because aggressive AI enhancements and voice isolation tools can sometimes introduce artifacts and distort the speech or create ambiguity around the sounds that were originally present. And for something this serious, I wanted my processing to remain as conservative as possible. You'll also notice time code and dialogue written on the side of the screen and pop up during each segment. That dialogue represents what I personally hear as an audio engineer while processing and repeatedly reviewing these sections. I'm pretty much providing it as a listening reference, not as a declaration.
Okay,
that
I
my
really want her to
interpretation is
hurry
the
up
only
with the
possible
explanation, but
interpretation.
it's gonna take a long time. So we gotta fast forward some of this.
On ears. I hope this breakdown helps. And my
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and
Nah,
our
he on the
bilge
phone
pump
with the
stopped
dispatch
working.
lady.
We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut the fuck up!
Damn it, Bart. Okay. Okay. So, as you could hear from those two videos, the service lady was on the phone with him. You heard that interaction, and then you heard it without it. And from the sounds of it to me, he was on a boat with them. They say he wasn't on a boat. And again, I'm not really doing this to examine like what happened to him really. I'm doing this to teach lessons so that if you find yourself in different friend groups, you have to understand what's happening around you so that you can best know how to navigate this. But something that drew my attention was these interviews that this fella by the name of Officer Tatum is doing. Now, I don't know this brother's nationality. I don't know his race. I don't know what he is. But, you know, he may have some ambiguity in him. I don't know that to be true. I don't know nothing about it. But he was interviewing a friend of Nolan Wells, allegedly a friend of Nolan Wells. And this fella has some ambiguity for certain. And I just want to play what he says as it pertains to Nolan Wells' mother. Because if you my friend, you should have respect for my mama.
There was a big contradiction on television. Was you said in your interview that you were really, really good friends with Nolan, his best friend.
Best friend.
Nolan's mother said
friend.
on television
one
that,
best friend.
as if she don't even know you.
Have you spoken to Tristan since Nolan's passing, and how are you responding to his account of what happened?
So first of all, we don't know Tristan. We've never met him. So to say, you know,
he just
best
whispered something to her.
friend,
He
childhood friend,
probably told her like
that's
who
a
that
bit
was.
of a stretch.
So what's the truth in that, and how did that affect you? How did that make you feel?
So she originally touched and she said that we weren't childhood best friends, and she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I moved to Ocean Springs in 9th grade. I met Nolan in 9th grade, as I've stated in my Rolling Stone interview.
Your Rolling Stone interview.
Nolan was my best friend, though. She can believe it or not, that was my best friend.
She can believe it or not.
Me and her never had a sit-down, in-depth conversation like me and you're having now. It was always, hey, how are you doing? I've been to her house multiple times. I've taken Nolan to school multiple times. I've left my vehicle at her house multiple times, even including the new vehicle I just got. Has gotten left at her house for 2 days.
You left.
And I just got it. I haven't even had it for 4 months.
In the driveway or what? Like in the front yard?
My vehicle before that stayed at her house for almost a week. Me and her son went on trips together.
Going on trips.
We went to Florida for spring break together.
Like this boat.
You don't know me? I'm in all these homecoming and prom photos.
Yes, it's very possible for her to not know you.
Me and Nolan are standing next to each other.
In a picture,
you don't know me. Nolan's last name is Wells.
It's Wells.
My last name at one point in time was Walker.
At one point
we were by each other in the alphabet when we graduated.
Anymore?
Man, that's mind-boggling.
It's a terrible acting job by him, by the way. This is a very bad acting job by him. So let's just break apart with this Mark scene, because I played his for a reason. There's another white boy gave an interview named Warren. I'm not trying to solve it. I don't really, you know what I mean? But he thinks he's a special Negro, this one here. I don't know. What's his name? Trayston? Like, whoever, like, you think you a special Negro, don't you? You think you special, don't you? You're not one of them, homie. You have ambiguity, as the sister said in the video. You have ambiguity. And while that may work for you, it will not save you. Because they see you as them. They don't see you as us. And when I say us, I mean white. They see you as black, as in them, as in what I am. And the fact that you don't see yourself as what I am, you're confused. And that's the danger of tier 3, because you probably be at their house, don't you? You probably spend the night at their house. Their mama and daddy treat you like you was their son, don't they? But I'm telling you, if you wasn't a splish splash taking a bath with a little bit of cream in your coffee, they wouldn't. And it's not that they don't. They do. But don't think that you special, homie, because they mama and daddy them ain't do it. Apparently, allegedly, somebody named Bart did it. And I don't even know none of these folks. So I don't even know that to be true. I just heard it in the audio. The audio allegedly said, damn it, Bart. Sound like he did something wrong. And you, for the most part, even if you're not saying it verbatim, you acting like you defending them by going against his mama. That's his mama, man. See, they can look at you as us, but we know you not us. By the fact that you don't even know that you ain't supposed to say nothing about that boy mama. You don't even know that. Why you don't know that? Because you want to be down so bad. You want to be you all right, they cool with you, homie. But trust, Nolan Wells' mama has some ambiguity, but she's not fully black. So he got some ambiguity too. And if it happened to him, it can happen to you. And it don't got to be by nobody that you know. It's the ones that they know didn't stop and didn't tell you. But talking about, I done left my house I left my car at their house. So you leaving your car at somebody's house is not the equivalent of her knowing you. Knowing of you and knowing you is two different things. Stop playing dumb. They don't know you. Just like them white boys in tier 1 and tier 2 that I talked about. My mama don't know them. If she saw me in a picture with them, she wouldn't know who they was. Just because I knew them or was standing by them somewhere, don't mean she know them. She know Ryan, but she don't know them. And he ain't never left his car at my house. He was downstairs kicking it with us. But other than that, no, she wouldn't know y'all. And similarly, this boy here talking, that mama ain't got to know you. She ain't got to know you for you to show some respect and for you to know better than to talk about that your homeboy, your best friend, as you keep saying. You should know better than not to talk about his mama like that, but to be over there comforting her and trying to find what happened to her son. If you was really his homie, that's what you would be doing in connection to his mother. Not talking about some, you don't know me? I already said in my interview with Rolling Stone. You think you one of them, dog? Nah, dog, don't matter how many fish you catch out there with them. how many footballs y'all catch out there, or how many balls you catch out there. You not one of them, homie. Just accept it and put the relationships in the tiers that they belong in. Whether it's tier 1, keep it there. Don't go to them folk house. Stay in school. If it's tier 2, keep it there. Y'all can go kick it and party, but not at them folks' house. Stay at the kegs. And if it's at tier 3, know the difference and have some discernment and appreciate the fact that if it can make it to tier 3, don't lean on it. Just appreciate it for what it is. I don't know what tier y'all want to be in or who you think you are, but you never be one of them. And I hope for justice for this young brother, Nolan Wells, justice for his family. I haven't seen his father do much talking. And, I can only imagine. It appeared that he had a little brother. Or somebody, I saw a picture with another young brother. Ain't nobody talking about, man, I wonder what that young brother's going through. If that's his little brother I saw in the picture. So I hope this family get justice, man. And I hope everybody that's involved face the consequences of their actions. Because these things can happen, and due to the fact that people don't want to ruffle feathers, somebody lost their life. So because somebody lost their life, y'all got to be held accountable or give a way better story than, I left my car at their house all the time. I'm best friends with him. We took homecoming pictures together. Homie, if I can... I just told you all them stories, man. You think I ain't take pictures with somebody else? I couldn't tell you where them pictures at. I went to prom with them. I don't know what them prom pictures look like. I was the only black nigga in the prom picture. A bunch of white boys and white girls and a Mexican girl. But other than that, I couldn't tell you what them pictures is. And if my mother, them girls was at my house and my mother couldn't tell you who they was. I had them all coming to my house. White boys, white girls, whoever. My mama could not tell you who they was. So just being at somebody's house ain't no better. I've never sat down and had an in-depth conversation with her like you. You ain't got to sit down and have an in-depth conversation with her. Hey, how you doing today? Ooh, out the man. She said, know something about you. Know about that new car you talking about you just got. You would say that. You would bring up real specific things that you talk about with his mama. Not that she saw you in a picture. Because how you know she saw the picture? You showed it to her? I'm in pictures with him. What's she doing looking for his pictures on everything? Don't be dumb. But it happened to you too, Special Negro. And they gonna have you singing that song. You got me going in circles.